Now. I'm continuing the song. Is that okay?
No.
No?
Let's
Okay.
pop in party people in the place to be.
You're tuning in to Fitchburg State Radio, WXPL 91.3. You're tuning in to Sidereel, where we talk about all the latest film news.
Well, specifically not this month.
Specifically this month, we're doing something different.
It's a special month. Would you like to tell them what it's called, Matt?
It's called Scoobtober, where we are reviewing every Scooby-Doo movie ever.
There's a lot more Scooby-Doo movies than I originally thought, you know.
Oh, yeah. I shocked Matt with the actual estimate.
I was like, oh, yeah, this is like, 10, 15. Matt's like, no, it's like 34.
30-something, all right.
Yeah.
And we're only skipping the live-action ones and the puppet one.
And there you go.
I've never seen the puppet one. Forgive me.
I've watched so much Scooby-Doo in the last week, I don't need to see it up until I have kids eventually.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good for a while.
And then you force your kids to watch it,
yeah,
obviously.
then we'll do Scoop-Doo. We'll turn this into a family tradition now.
Oh, yes. Oh, no. I'm never doing anything like this again. If I watch Scooby-Doo, it's going to be on individual terms. It ain't going to be binging all 30-something.
It's like a Lord of the Rings marathon, you just got to crank them all out.
No, that's a once-in-a-lifetime sort of thing. Don't ever say that again.
That and The Hobbit. I'm going to bang out all 18 hours.
All right. Now, before we get to our first review, we are going to plug our number so we can get some callers. Got to get all your Scooby-Doo preferences.
Is that a new telephone?
What? No, that's the same phone.
Oh. What happened to the white thing, the flashy thing?
It's behind it.
Oh, they move things around. Okay, never mind.
Okay. The number is 978-665-48-48. That is 978-665-48-48. On that note, Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King sucks.
You say it sucks. I actually liked it.
I hate it.
I loved it. Well, I wouldn't say loved it.
Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King follows the gang as they are at a Halloween carnival in Coolsville, their hometown. And this magician, played by Wayne Knight for some reason, sucks. And he fails. And Scooby and Shaggy expose all his tricks.
They embarrass him in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah, and then he's like, I'm going to kill the Scooby gang. And he's like, how do I do that? I don't know real magic. And then, lo and behold, the plot point, the fairy princess...
Magic fairy princess.
...flies into his tent, and he captures her and steals her magical powers. And as such, he becomes an all-powerful warlock. And then Scooby and Shaggy are sent on a quest by another magician to the land of Halloween, not Halloween Town, the land of Halloween, to...
Separate.
Find the Goblin King and steal his staff to restore balance and order. Along the way, they team up with a pumpkin named Jack, who
That pumpkin was
rhymes.
the best part of that movie.
He is the only good part of that movie.
I love that.
And they fight a bunch of monsters like the Headless Horseman, a werewolf, another werewolf, a third werewolf, a vampire.
Didn't we see what's-his-face from the original Scooby-Doo show?
Yeah, and a bunch of original Scooby-Doo villains, such as the werewolf, the vampire, and the creeper.
The creeper, that's the one. Creeper.
The creeper. Always gotta have the creeper.
Creeper.
Yes. And then they get to the Goblin King, who is played by Tim Curry. First time he has been in Scooby-Doo since Witch's Ghost, funny enough. Did you remember that?
Yeah.
Good boy.
Has he been in another one since? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think he was too busy being Nigel Thornberry.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, it's been a while since we've seen him.
It's been a hot minute. And so Scooby and Shaggy steal the staff, and the Goblin King's like, there's humans in here. That means I can invade your world. How he comes to that conclusion, I don't really know.
I don't honestly know
And so
either.
he takes his goblin army, which is straight out of Sleeping Beauty and Maleficent's castle, and they fly into the human world, where Freddy, Daphne, and Velma are waiting, doing nothing.
His castle has the green motifs and everything, black brick,
Yes.
All we're missing is a dragon at this point.
Oh, yeah. And then Wayne Knight's like, I'm going to steal your staff. And he does. And Wayne Knight becomes the new Goblin King.
And he becomes a giant, malformed, really fat goblinoid.
Goblinoid is a very good way of putting that. Thank you.
Goblinoid.
Yes. And then he turns Fred into a vampire, Daphne into a witch, and Velma into a werewolf.
Just like their vision from the start of the movie.
Yes, because there was a magical vision of the end of the world.
Prophetic.
Because why wouldn't there be?
Yep.
And then, all of a sudden, Scooby and Shaggy save the day. And the Goblin King's like, you guys tight. and
Oh yeah, that's right.
and erases the world's memory of everything that transpired
Except for Shaggy and Scooby.
Exactly.
And they're all like, "Hey, you wouldn't believe us if we told you." And then roll credits.
And then they dance to the Goblin Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, the Goblin Oogie Boogie.
I hate this movie. It is annoying. The plot sucks and is completely flimsy.
I don't think it's nearly as bad as you're making it out to be.
I hate that they go to a world of real monsters.
I think it's cool. It's different.
No.
It's different than the whodunit. We got a really good cosplayer on set or something.
I would have preferred the classic traditional. Thank you very much.
Matt's stuck in his old ways.
I know, I'm really old. Being
Yeah.
21 does that to a man.
I know, right? Especially when I'm 22.
I know. You're so young.
Oh yeah, young and spry.
Young in mind, I'm old in mind.
Old in heart.
Oh, yes. Seabiscuit?
So I don't know.
That sounds like a horse name.
But anyway, Seabiscuit? Yeah, probably.
Oh, that is a horse name. I'm talking about old in heart.
Oh.
That sounds like a horse name.
Okay, hit him with the Scooby Snack score.
Scooby Snack rating of the Goblin King.
Out of 10.
Give it a solid 1 out of 10 Scooby Snacks.
Wow.
But specifically one Scooby Snack that's just stale and rotten. Because that's about how good the writing is in that movie.
I'm gonna give it an actual score rather than an IGN score, and hit it with an old 7.5 out of 10.
If I was giving an IGN score, it'd be like a 6.22.
That's weirdly specific.
That's an IGN score.
Okay. In any case, I give it a 6.5.
Yeah, you can't.
Or 7.5.
Exactly. Yes.
0.5.
And now that we have moved on from that piece of garbage, let's review something really, really good. Something Matt was too much of a baby to watch with the rest of us.
I was really tired that day.
Yeah, you were. 5 days in a row to be exact, because if you were awake watching Adult Swim for the past 5 days, you watched Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal. Genndy Tartakovsky, the creator of Samurai Jack and Symbionic Titan, has returned to format to create his most visually stunning piece of work to date, and possibly the most brutal and violent. Primal follows a caveman named Spear and a dinosaur named Fang as they traverse a prehistoric wasteland. Wait, I call it a wasteland, but it's the prehistoric times. As they survive, eating and killing along the way. It is good.
It's Samurai Jack without robots and actual things at this time.
Pretty much.
I was looking it up. It actually looked pretty good.
There is really no plot to the show. It's more each episode is a different moment of them trying to survive against some new enemy. In one episode is a pack of woolly mammoths. In another, it is a pack of vampiric bat creatures. In another episode, it was apes.
Although that's kind of like along the lines of his old stuff, you know?
It is.
He had the Star Wars thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then combined with Samurai Jack, I feel like he kind of just said, yeah, let's take the goods of both of those and then throw out the story-driven narrative, and then just said, let's go with a more obtuse format.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking it up. I'm usually in bed by like 10 o'clock, so I'm a responsible adult.
You should watch it. It's all on Hulu.
It is.
And probably on AdultSwim.com.
And it's not that many episodes, so you could probably just crank it out in a night.
It is only 5 episodes long, and no more than that.
How long is each episode?
About 20 minutes.
Okay, so it's like standard. Okay.
Yeah. So each episode follows them as they deal with a new problem in order to survive. It is a show filled with very heavy violence, but very gorgeously drawn violence, to say the least, in how Spear just moves so fluidly
gorgeous
in
gore,
the battle
if you
scenes. Will. Yes, a lot of blood, but it's a very pretty color of red. Very good shading, Genndy Tartakovsky. Very good shading.
It's almost like he has a good form and has perfected it over the last 15 years.
Like he has a background in all this.
I know, right?
How is that possible?
It's almost like he's a professional.
I know.
And he's not somewhere out of California drawing Steven Universe characters.
I mean, he is in California.
Yeah, but he's special.
What? You know he created a Hotel Transylvania, right?
Did he?
Yeah, he's directed all 3 movies, and I believe
I wasn't aware of that. I haven't seen any of them. So
they're bad.
Oh well,
they're really bad.
Is that like the family comedy thing? The animated one
with Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
and Kevin James and all.
I mean,
his
it's
other
Adam
friends.
Sandler, so that should say enough.
You know, Adam Sandler has a new movie coming out that's like.
What is it, like Pixels 2?
No, Uncut Gems.
Oh no, what is that about?
I'll show you the trailer later.
Okay, but in any case,
he's gonna win the Oscar for it. I guarantee it.
In what section?
What do you mean in what section?
Oh, wait, the Oscar. Never mind.
What did you think I said?
I thought you were going Golden Globes.
I mean, same thing. Best actor.
Okay.
You know, tomato, flimsy tomato.
Let's give it to Kevin James for playing the U.S. president in, what was it, Pixels?
Yeah, wait, you're giving it to him for that, but not for Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
I mean, he should get an Oscar for every Paul Blart movie because they're actually...
Are we going to... Matt, we have to make Paul Blart 3 Moon Cop.
Moon Cop?
Moon Cop.
Okay.
He's the first security guard on the moon.
On the moon?
And he must stop the moon raiders from raiding
I have
the moon.
a better idea. We move him to that really big... The Mall of America?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we make a movie around that.
Isn't that where the first movie was filmed?
Was it?
I know it was.
I know it was a mall. I didn't know if
it was
it's the
filmed
Mall
in
of
like
America.
3 malls, and one of the malls was the one over in
Midwest?
No, the one in Massachusetts. It has a cheesecake factory there.
Oh, Providence Place Mall? The one I talked about over in Rhode Island?
No, it's in Massachusetts.
Oh, I don't know. The only mall I know is the one by my house, which is Emerald Square in Attleboro.
Okay, well, I don't remember the name of it. Because I'm from out of state and I'm terrible.
And I don't come up here that often enough to know, so.
Exactly.
Massachusetts is big.
Looping back to Primal.
Yeah, anyway.
What we do on here is we always get sidetracked.
We get it.
On Sidereel.
No less.
No more. Because we're 2 idiots doing what we do best.
Yep.
Mumbling.
We're professional idiots.
Oh, yeah. And yet we have a radio show.
Exactly.
We
control the airwaves.
We can replace Alex Jones.
Exactly.
We can deliver the real news.
It's turning the frogs gay.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, so Primal, I would highly recommend you all watch it. It is a masterful triumph in animation, and more importantly, it truly shows how far a visual medium can go without any dialogue. Absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning.
Nice.
How many more synonyms can you name for it?
Absolutely symphonic.
What's that?
I don't know. I'm just thinking of ones with S.
Oh.
Symphonic? I'm pretty sure that's like symphony. I don't know. In any case.
That's okay. You did it. I'm proud
Synonym.
of you. Yeah? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Gucci.
Moving on to news, Matt. It is time to talk about... Sadly, we must talk about Marvel right now. If that's
we talk about Marvel every week.
Not every week.
Most weeks.
I
think out of the, 5 shows we've had, we've talked about Marvel in like 3, 4 of them.
Something like that. You know, it sucks because Marvel, Disney, and Star Wars truly raid the film news industry.
Disney.
Because there's always something every week, and there's not much you can really do about that.
Nope.
News is news. Got to talk about it.
Is it Disney Plus news?
No. It is about a Disney streaming service, though. It's the other one.
Oh.
Do you know?
No, but I know there's a second one.
Yeah, Hulu.
Oh, okay,
Because they own Hulu now.
I forget if it was Hulu or if they own Netflix. I don't know.
They do not own that. Netflix
Thank God they don't
solo.
own Netflix.
That'd be pretty funny because Netflix sucks now.
Yeah.
So the new Marvel show coming to Hulu, Hellstrom, which follows the son and daughter of Satan, has found its cast members.
Oh boy, and who might that be?
Sydney Lemon will be playing Anna Hellstrom, a.k.a. Santana, or Satana. I honestly don't remember which
Saitama
is
from One Punch Man?
what? I don't know who that is, but okay.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Tom Austin will be playing the titular character of Damon Hellstrom, who in the comics is a well-known Avenger and has teamed up with many of Marvel's darker magic heroes such as Blade, Man-Thing, and Howard the Duck.
I'm going to move this. Hold on.
You moving stuff? Yeah. You hit your mic.
Yep. Professional idiots.
We are professional idiots.
Yep.
That's our new slogan.
There we go. I want to be able to make eye contact with you.
Oh, okay. We're getting intimate in here.
Yeah.
On top of that, Victoria Hellstrom will be played by Elizabeth Marvel. I wonder how she got cast.
Gee, I wonder how.
It's okay. They are the 3 primary players in the show with a variety of supporting cast following in suit, but I don't feel like talking about them because they ain't as important as them.
Okay.
No further details about the show have been discussed for this point.
Dates? No?
It is being released next year.
Okay.
This is also in wake of the Ghost Rider show on Hulu being canceled.
I wanted that show.
Yeah, but everybody thought Hellstrom would be canceled immediately after, in which it wasn't. So, good on them, I guess, for surviving the onslaught.
They kept one satanic show.
They did. And who knows where it'll go. Because right now Hulu only has one other Marvel show, and that's The Runaways, which is a teen drama show. So we'll see what happens.
I always forget Hulu exists.
I love Hulu. I get my cable for there now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got rid of cable, and we get it through Hulu.
That's what I wanted to tell my parents to do, but they're like, we want to pay for Comcast.
No, it's like $50 cheaper.
Yeah, I know. That's what I told them. I'm like, why are we paying so much money?
And you still get to record stuff. We are not sponsored by Hulu.
They're looking at that Amazon Fire Stick or something.
I mean, Fire Stick just that lets you use apps.
Yeah.
Like Netflix and Hulu. That doesn't get rid of cable, though.
No, but it could just place your medium of watching things. Although my dad only watches the TV for news anyway, so, I mean,
Oh, well... Big rip. Read a newspaper instead.
He does that anyway.
Oh, well, then what does he watch the news for?
Kill time, I guess. I don't know.
Man needs a hobby.
Yeah.
He should be watching Scooby-Doo.
He fixes... Yeah. He actually used to like Scooby-Doo.
Did he?
That and X-Men.
The X-Men, really?
Yeah, he has like a bunch of old X-Men comics.
That's cool.
They're probably worth something.
They probably are. If you were to like tell me the storyline they are, I could tell you if they're worth something.
Do you know in Deadpool 2... the giant Juggernaut guy?
Yeah, Juggernaut?
Juggernaut, yeah. It's like the stories around him and
there's
Wolverine.
A couple of those. Okay, yeah. Probably not worth much then.
Okay, well, regardless, he really liked X-Men growing up.
You know Juggernaut is Professor X's brother, right?
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't know much about the X-Men universe.
The universe? It's part of the Marvel universe.
Well, you know what I mean.
I can inform you much about the X-Men, my friend.
In any case, all I know is Quicksilver, he's pretty neat.
Yeah, he's dead in the Marvel universe, though.
Yeah, I know.
Who cares about Quicksilver, though?
Sweet dreams are made of these.
On that note, it is time for our very first commercial break. It's time to bring you some hoppin' Scooby-Dooby-Doo tunes.
Doobie-doobie.
I hope you enjoy this, because this is a pretty good song.
Not another morning rush. Drop your kids off without dropping your workout.
Just as long as they've got plenty of sunshine.
There is only one thing Scooby-Doo and I are hoping for this vacation. I don't want no more ghouls or nothing scary. No apparitions giving me a fright. Don't want nothing that I need to bury. More creatures that go bumping in the night.
No poltergeist and nothing supernatural. No giant beast that sneaks up from behind.
No ghosts that rattle chains.
Or things that eat your brains.
No banshee witch that scares me out of my mind.
We're finally on vacation and going someplace new.
Instant relaxation.
Is all we're gonna do.
I don't want no zombies or kooks. My friends were finally done with all them goblins and spooks that kept us on the run.
We're gonna be cool as cukes. Our monster days are through. No demonic beast and nothing to see.
It's time to relax.
That's what we're gonna do.
No more frown, we're moving down the road now. Keep that metal pedal to the floor.
We haven't got a clue where we're headed to.
But it's somewhere that we've never been before. Cruising down the highway, free without a care. It feels bizarre because there are no werewolves anywhere.
Don't want no dragons or freaks, and no crazy evil sprites. I don't want no phantom that shrieks, haunting us every night.
I don't want no comic con geeks walking up out of the blue, dressed like bats and 7-foot rats, chasing me down and saying, "How do you do?"
Lift your hand up high, let it wave goodbye to them gremlins and monsters galore.
Tell them all we're gone, 'cause we're moving on, and we ain't coming back anymore.
I don't want no more ghouls or nothing scary.
No vampire creatures giving me a fright. No ghosts that rattle chains.
Or things that eat your brains.
Or monsters that go flying through the night.
We're going on vacation and heading somewhere new.
Instant relaxation.
Is all we're gonna do. Want no more actors or kooks. Van Helsing's team is done with all his vampire spooks.
And now it's time to run.
We're gonna be cool as cukes. Our monster days are through. No demonic beasts.
Ain't nothing to see.
It's time to relax, and that's what we're gonna do.
Scooby Dooby 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 Doo.
Doobie doobie doo wah.
On our commercial break, which we'll talk about in just a second, we had a caller call in. We're going to put her on.
A very familiar caller to some of us.
A very, very familiar caller.
Just-
Hello? Is she on? Hello?
don't you have to talk into the headphone?
Hello.
Are you there?
Yes.
Oh, yeah? Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Sydney.
Sydney. This is my sister. Hi, Sydney.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Are you enjoying the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you forget to watch Scooby-Doo? It's okay.
At least she's honest.
At least she's honest. It's okay. She'll get there.
One day.
She liked the songs. Did you like the song, Sydney?
Yeah.
She likes the songs. Did she like them? Let's find out.
Yeah. I'll get her to watch the musical one.
She'll probably like that one.
Yeah, you'll like the musical one, Sydney.
Yeah.
We do a lot of singing in it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a Disney movie, I guess.
It's pretty much like a Disney movie.
It is a Disney movie. It's a ripoff. Ripoff artist. Do you have anything else you want to say live on air?
Cool.
Cool? All right. That's awesome. Well, I love you. Keep tuning in.
Okay, love you too.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Oh, that was sweet.
God, that gives me so much life.
That was nice.
I love it. Anyways, we're back.
We're back. We're back and ready to go.
In case you're wondering, the songs we played for you on that break, the first one was from Scooby-Doo, Legend of the Phantasaur. That was the opening title sequence song. Very good movie. We'll get to that review tonight, don't worry. The second two songs are both from Scooby-Doo and the Music of the Vampire.
A movie that I actually really liked.
A musical Scooby-Doo movie with lots of songs that I couldn't find online. So you're getting the same song, both the opening version, that is the first song played in the movie, and its reprisal version at the end. Sorry. I tried my best. Forgive me.
We'll make do Scooby-Doo.
Make do Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Can we make our own Scooby-Doo?
What was the Scooby-Doo movie that we said was surprised that wasn't made yet?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Clue.
We discovered there's never been a Scooby-Doo movie based off of Clue.
Which is odd because it seems like it would almost be fitting.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's been like TV episodes in
probably.
similar fashion to it.
But it just seems like you could make a movie out of it, you know?
Well, Matt, we'll make it. We'll knock on Warner Bros. Animation and be like, yo, give me a job.
I'm terrible at animating, though, so it's got to be live action.
I can bring Scooby-Doo back to the forefront.
We gotta make another live action one. Scrappy's the villain.
I'm not gonna give you that satisfaction. They ruined Scrappy.
Yeah.
Poor Scrappy.
I honestly don't remember much about Scrappy from my childhood except for what's in the live action version, so.
That's bad. Yeah. All right, Matt. Time for the next review. I hate this one too, but you like it. Scooby-Doo and the Samurai Sword.
Ah, yes. Matt absolutely despises this one.
I guess this continues our trend of is Scooby-Doo racist? I don't know.
I don't know. Although I will say out of all the Scooby-Doo movies we've watched, this is arguably the most racist out of them from the songs alone.
Yes, I love being a woke 21-year-old in 2019 and totally identifying everything as racist.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because Scooby-Doo is racist.
Scooby-Doo is a brown dog?
In Scooby-Doo and the Samurai Sword, the gang travels to Japan so Daphne can participate in a world kung fu tournament on Kung Fu Island.
Kung Fu Island with
from SpongeBob
Sandy and
SquarePants,
SpongeBob.
Yes. But trouble has it that an ancient samurai armor has come back to life as the ghost of the
Black Samurai.
Yes, the Black Samurai, the original wielder of the armor, has inhabited it in order to, I don't know, stop the
take
tournament.
over the world?
Take over the world. It's not really clear, to be honest.
Although this is another one with an actual monster.
Yes, it is. More on that soon.
Yeah.
So the gang is like, all right, we can solve the mystery after the tournament. They get to the tournament. Oh no, there's ninjas attacking the tournament. Oh no, the Black Samurai is there.
I love how the Scooby-Doo universe, that of which is like, we're talking about movies from what, 10, 12 years ago?
This is from 2008.
Okay, so like 12 years ago almost.
No, 2009.
Okay, 11, give or take.
Yeah.
Still has more advanced technology than what we have today.
Yeah.
Remember, they fly in on this like giant helicopter
it was the
airplane.
Quinjet from the Avengers.
Yeah, but like even we don't have that.
Yeah, be pretty nice. Yeah, so after that, they're like, okay, we'll find the sword that can kill the Black Samurai.
The sword of fate. And his is the sword of doom.
Yeah.
They're
which
the
are not
yin yang of each other.
Which are not even yin yang.
Yeah.
Yin yang?
Yin
yang.
I always said yang.
Yeah, I had somebody tell me in high school it's yang,
yin yang.
And ever since then it's kind of messed me up. Either way, they go to an island in Japan's archipelago, and they find a mountain with a dragon head carved in and a waterfall coming out,
and a bunch of natives.
Yes, and they go inside, and the natives who. I don't even know how there's natives in Japan. It's Japan. But they protect the Sword of Fate. And then the Scooby Gang scares them by stealing it.
Booga booga booga.
And then the Black Samurai shows up, and the Scooby Gang use the sword to defeat him. And it turns out it's this big fella from the tournament who was basically the main bodyguard of the lady that ran it. And, they head back to the museum to return the armor and the swords. And then the guy is in custody, and the lady that runs the tournament, she's like, good job, I'm gonna kill you.
And then lock them in the coat closet.
Yes, she locks them all in the coat closet, but Scooby and Shaggy escape with the sword. And then she sends her ninja army after them.
Robot Ninja Army.
Yes, robot ninjas to be precise. And as that is going on, the song "Can You Do the Samurai" plays.
Can you do the samurai?
Hi.
It's literally the most, I don't even know.
It's not even J-pop or anything.
It's not catchy. It's not memorable. If anything, it was kind of off-putting. I mean, the sequence in which it took place in was pretty good, although the song was just oddly jarring. There were two of them, really.
Yeah, so after that, Scooby and Shaggy hide in a sushi shop where they meet this guy, and he's like, "What up, dog? Eat my sushi." "Oh, y'all are being chased by ninja bots?"
I'm an actual samurai.
Let me get my katana and kill the ninja robots. "Hey, guys, you have that sword of fate? Go meet the dragon. That's real. I can take you to him. Here he is." And a gigantic green dragon is like, "What up, dog? You got my sword? Cool. I'll help you fight the war." So then they go all the way back to the museum where everybody's fighting.
Wait. You're getting it mixed up.
Am I?
Yeah.
To be fair,
They find the Sword of Doom in the mountain.
was it the Sword of Doom in the mountain?
It was the Sword of Doom in the mountain because they wanted to go and prevent the Black Knight from getting it, and then all of a sudden they go and find the dragon that has the Sword of Fate, and they give it to him and ride on the back of the dragon back to Tokyo.
That's what it was.
And then that's when the dragon imbues his power into the sword.
Oh yes, forgive me if I get my swords
Fake
confused.
fan.
I know.
Fake fan.
Wow, Matt, you couldn't bring this up earlier when I was actually talking about it, and I'm like 20 chapters ahead.
Well, you just kept saying the sword, so I didn't know which one you meant.
You know, tomato, potato.
This matters for the lore of Scooby-Doo, Matt.
The lore of Scooby-Dooby-Doo is stupid if that's the case.
And the dragon imbues his power and his soul into the Sword of Fate, and they dash it out over the rivers of Tokyo.
Yes, and then the actual Black Samurai returns to inhabit his armor, and Scooby-Doo fights him in a battle to end all battles.
Yep.
Reminiscent of Dragon Ball Evolution. And Scooby-Doo wins. And inside, it turns out the Black Samurai was an old man ghost who said thank you for saving me and releasing me from my curse.
And then Shaggy and Scooby become inaugurated as honorary samurai.
Yes. And that's the moral of the story is...
Oh, and Scooby gets a golden statue erected in Tokyo.
Scooby gets a statue based off him in Shibuya.
Yeah.
Next to Hachi being the dog that
Where was that in
stayed-
Persona 5, Matt?
I don't know.
So they took it down?
Samurai Sword is bad. The plot is all over the place. It's not consistent in its pacing. The only good part of the fight scenes, because they're very, very well animated for some reason. I don't know why. Of note, it is also the final film in the Scooby-Doo franchise to utilize the What's New Scooby-Doo art style. After this, they move on to the current iteration of the art style. So it was a bit of a sore farewell to my childhood, to say the least. Because this is the last What's New Scooby-Doo thing ever created.
I honestly think that this was the last movie I saw before I kind of fell out of Scooby-Doo as a kid.
Yeah.
It was like around that 2009. That was
So,
going into middle school.
I hated this movie so much it made me fall off from the movies. I continued to watch the shows because the next show was Mystery Incorporated, which was one of my favorite shows of all time. And if anybody who's listening to this show this month, what's the name of the show, Matt?
Sidereel.
Yes. Anybody listening to this show this month should know at the end, if you're going to listen to anything or watch anything Scooby-Doo related, you need to watch Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated because that show is very good.
People die.
People die in that show.
It's actually like really good. Think like Gravity Falls, but Scooby-Doo.
It's also heavily inspired by Twin Peaks for all you Lynchian fans out there.
You know, I watched that show.
It's really good.
It was good, and then I got to season 2, and I'm like, eh.
Oh yeah, season 2's bad, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, but I liked the initial. You could have tricked me. I thought that came out a lot later than it actually did.
Mystery Incorporated?
No, Twin Peaks.
Yeah, that came out in the 90s.
Yeah, which was surprising. This felt like a show they wanted to make it feel like it was 90s, except it actually was 90s.
Yeah, that'll do that. That's because of
Stranger Things and everything else, right? I don't know. We're in like this weird trend right now where everyone wants to go back to the pre-millennium.
Yes. Anyway, Samurai Sword destroyed my perception of Scooby-Doo for a hot minute until like junior year of high school when I started watching the movies again. I'm like, okay.
For context, that's like what, 4 years?
Yeah, a solid 4
or 5 years. Yeah.
Not even 4 or 5 years, something like that. Yeah, so Samurai Sword is not my favorite. I think it's, as a film, better than Goblin King. Because Goblin King, I probably have a worse memory of.
I like Goblin King more than this movie.
When me and my sister Haley were kids, we saved up our allowance money to buy Goblin King on DVD at Target the day it came out, which was like a Friday. And if my mom is still listening to this, I don't even know if she remembers. But
Hope
like,
she has the receipt.
I know, but like, we saved our money up, and combined, it was like, $22 or whatever it needed to be. And we literally dumped all our $1 bills in front of the Target cashier, and we bought the movie, and later that night we watched it, and we both hated it so much. That is a terrible memory I have as a kid.
Okay, but in any case, what do you give Samurai?
Samurai Sword, I give a solid 3.5, maybe 4 Scooby Snacks, just because the fight scenes in it are really good.
I liked Goblin King more than this movie, and as such, I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay, you're giving it too high, in my opinion.
I still think it's pretty good.
It's
not terrible. Like, at no point in any of these movies have I wanted to pull out my phone and just, like, ignore what's going on. That's how I judge a bad movie, if it doesn't capture my attention in some way after a prolonged period of time.
I noticed today we were watching 3 more Scooby-Doo movies for the show tonight, and Matt pulled his phone out a couple times, but didn't do anything on it because he immediately got pulled back into the movie.
Yeah. Like, it had a couple lulls, but it was mainly just me checking my emails and making sure my mom wasn't texting me.
You're a good son.
I'm a good son.
You are a good son.
I keep up to date.
Are you sure
Yeah.
about that?
Positive.
Maybe. Okay. News time, ladies and germs, because we have... What else is this show good for, I guess?
Yep, we are the news, we are the mouth to inform the people.
For those who do not know, Masters of the Universe is getting a new live-action film starring Noah Centineo in the titular role of He-Man, because why they had to cast a teenage heartthrob in that role is beyond me, because it's clear they're marketing this toward teenage girls now, and I'm not excited.
Is he blonde?
No, he's brunette.
Well, then he can't be He-Man, I'm
He
sorry.
was in a couple Netflix romance movies for teen girls.
Was he?
Yeah. On top of that, that's the sad part, because it seems the film is actually coming to Netflix now. There is a potential buyout happening where Masters of the Universe the movie that is, which is currently being produced by Sony, which owns the property rights, if I'm not mistaken. Netflix is currently trying to buy the distribution rights for this film, which is really stupid, because this is one of the many cases in which Netflix is, they have a film, right, that's really good, but they just put it immediately on their streaming service instead of going to theaters, in which they will make more money.
Okay.
And this is a film that could make them a lot of money, even though I don't think it will, because it sounds pretty bad right now. So,
I mean, it's kind of up for debate.
who knows? I'm not looking forward to it. Masters of the Universe has never really been my thing, to be honest. I owned the original movie on VHS as a kid, except I barely remember watching it.
You gotta go get it.
No, I don't even think I have it anymore, to be honest. That's the sad part. The sad part.
There's a Dr. Sleep movie
Sad.
coming out.
Yeah, I know.
I'm looking at film news right now.
Are you really? Boy,
Yeah.
What are you doing with
I
your
want to see if you miss anything.
I mean, I have stuff on a list.
Wait, this is the Shining story follow-up?
Yes, Matt. Do you not know what Dr. Sleep is?
No.
That's the follow-up to The Shining.
I didn't know that. I thought The Shining was just a one-off.
Have you seen the trailers for Dr. Sleep?
No.
When they actually show The Shining and Red Rum and the blood out of the elevator and the kid on
No,
the
I
dresser
haven't
and the
seen
twin
anything.
girls? Oh,
Well, I know that there's like the whole Stephen King mythos with that movie that ties all of them together, Black something,
I don't know.
Black Tower.
Oh, the Tower?
yeah, you
that
know the
mo-
tower that's like all of Stephen King's stuff, and they go through like every single world or whatever.
I don't know.
I forget.
I honestly have no idea.
It was a flop. There were 2 of them.
I saw the Tower movie with like Idris Elba, which was god awful.
Was it the black guy?
Yes,
Okay.
it's Idris Elba.
Yeah, him. Okay, yeah, that is the one I'm talking about.
Okay,
But in any case, no, I haven't been up to date on my Stephen King mythos.
I don't think I am either, because I don't care about Stephen King as that
Did you
much.
see it?
Part 2?
Yeah.
No.
No,
I
didn't
did
either.
not have any interest in it whatsoever. I was fine with the first one. I enjoyed it very much, even though people hated it.
I liked it.
I have no interest in the second one because I hear it isn't that good.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
You know that like it's based off of like a really small section in one of his books?
Yeah.
Like we're talking less than 10 pages.
What?
Like the whole thing of It.
It.
Yeah.
Part 2.
It 1 and 2 is like, you know how it's based off of Stephen King's book?
Yeah.
Well, before he wrote the book, that whole thing was based off a little short story he wrote.
Oh.
It was like less than 10 pages.
Okay. I mean, he also wrote It in like the 80s and 90s when he was doing a lot of cocaine.
And a lot of drugs.
It was cocaine.
Okay.
That was all he was doing. He doesn't remember writing a lot of books. Specifically, I think Cujo was one of them, maybe. Yeah, there's a scene in the It book. I don't know if you know about this, where they're kids and they just got frightened by It in the sewers for the first time.
Yeah.
And they ran away and they got lost in the sewers.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I really shouldn't be talking about this live on air. Basically, all the boys were scared, so the girl does a thing, if you follow my drift.
Oh.
Yes, to calm them down.
That sounds like a cocaine-induced
He
dream.
wrote that when he was on cocaine. Yeah.
Well, in any case, I'm glad I could throw you for a loop there. I always got to mix it up.
Yeah, you do that when you confuse me, which is a lot.
Pretty often.
I get thrown off a lot by you, which is not saying much, I guess.
Nah,
That's a bit of an understatement.
It's a part of my character trait.
Yes, I know. On that note, it's time for our next commercial break. Here's the opening theme to one of my least favorite Scooby-Doo movies, which we'll also be reviewing tonight. Enjoy.
Step right this way, it's finally the day. The circus comes to town. We're true to the bill, the acrobats thrill, and wild beasts are found. All day, child's play, clouds and balloons. Fun filled until the next full moon. Laughter and tears, it happens each year. The circus comes to town. So unlock the cage and light up the stage for the greatest show around. All day, child's play, clouds and balloons. Fun filled until the next full moon.
In our world, even the closest become closer. That's the power of magic.
Stay away from my man-home record. Nobody comes between me and my man. Stay away, or I'll pummel you on the runaway train. Don't think I won't fight you. Don't think I'll lay down. Don't think I won't punch you right to the ground. No, wow, 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 wow. I will never rest until you pay. My fists are gonna put you in a world of pain. Stay away from my man. We've been close a long time, as close as friends can be. But in my heart's a secret for only you and me. I've tried to tell it many times, but my nerves got in the way. Well, I can't wait another night to say what I must say. I love you. I love you. I love you. Yes, I do. I love you.
Did you like that song, Matt?
I did, and I have a small public service announcement.
Good.
Did you know that across the entire population and consumption chain, about 40% of all food in the United States goes to waste? Most families don't realize how much food they toss out, an average of 1,000 pounds per year per family of 4. SaveTheFood.com shows how making shopping lists, freezing food, and using leftovers can significantly reduce the 20 pounds of food each person throws away in a single month. Brought to you by the Natural Resources Defense Council.
Bootyful.
Beautiful.
Thank you. For those wondering what songs you were just listening to, the first one is from Big Top Scooby-Doo.
A movie
where
that we both hate.
They joined the circus. It's bad.
It's terrible. We didn't even watch it.
It's the last one we're reviewing tonight. It's bad. The next 3 songs you heard are from an actually good Scooby-Doo movie, Scooby-Doo Stage Fright, which we'll be reviewing next week.
Next week, so look forward to that.
Yeah. In case you're wondering, that song, the last one, Fred and Daphne kissed.
I know. You could kind of tell at the climax there.
Yeah, I know. It's beautiful.
It's very
beautiful.
nice. Well orchestrated.
Yeah, I know. Very nice. Very gorgeous. I would
Wonderful.
say. Wunderbar.
We're like zooming through this, dude.
I know.
It's 7:48 and we're already at the tail end of our reviews.
Somehow we're like already doing pretty good.
Last week we were like struggling for time.
I know.
Like the last 2 weeks.
We say that now. We're probably going to be struggling by the end of tonight.
And then that's when we get hit with the like 500 posts of new Marvel news. And
yeah.
We're like, well, wait till Disney Plus comes out. Then we're gonna have nothing but that for like 2 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah. So, really quick before we move on to our next review,
Got to hit him with the bad old big top.
No, we got to hit him with a phone number.
That too.
And that phone number is
978-665-4848. I repeat, that is
978-665-4848.
48.
Please call in. Tell us your favorite Scooby-Doo memories. We encourage you all. Otherwise, you make us look really awkward.
Tell us what you think. Give us your Scooby Snacks,
Yes.
rating.
Please.
If you have a dispute, come and argue with us on air.
Do
please.
it. Yeah. So
Matt will gladly debate with you.
Yes. Now, next review is the start of the current era of Scooby-Doo films in terms of a change in animation style, and this is a good one. Honestly, one of the best ones. It is Scooby-Doo, Abra Cadabra Doo.
I love this movie, Matt. You love this movie. Josh loved this movie.
It's a
Everyone
good one.
loved this
It's
movie.
really good.
It was a good movie.
It is very good. Scooby-Doo, Abracadabra-Doo sees the gang in a gorgeous new art style, which is definitely an upgrade from the What's New art style.
It really threw me for a spin because you didn't tell me it was going to happen.
Yes. The story follows the gang solving mysteries as usual until they get a phone call from Velma's mom, who says that Velma's younger sister, Mindy, is at magic school, and there's a griffin haunting there. So the gang's like, we'll check it out.
They go to Hogwarts.
And they go to Hogwarts Castle, a gigantic castle that is actually a castle. And
Wow.
it is now owned by Whirlin' Merlin, who is running a magic school there. And the students are leaving one by one because of a gigantic griffin haunting the grounds. Nobody knows why. So the gang is like, okay, we'll join your school, learn how to do magic, and we'll solve a mystery for you. All for free. Because that's how we roll.
There you go.
Man.
Oh, man.
Abracadabra-Doo follows the gang as they explore the gigantic castle, going through many hidden passages and finding many secret rooms as they interview many, many different suspects and learn all the secrets and lore of the castle and its original owner, some Irish warrior knight and his clan.
Surprising, though, I will say, is that a lot of the movie doesn't actually take place in this big castle we're introduced to.
It takes place a good majority in there.
Does it?
Yeah.
I'd say for the most part it takes place like around the grounds and...
I mean, it's still the castle.
Yeah.
And still the majority, I feel like, is in the castle, which, either way, is pretty good. Now, the gang follows the clues as they must interview many different suspects, including Whirlin' Merlin himself, his brother, Marlin.
It's Marlin because I always made the fish joke.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, Marlin, who does all the stage effects for Merlin. His assistant, Crystal.
Yet another Crystal in the Scooby-Doo mythos.
Miss Butterbottoms, the maid of the castle. Mr. Cone Man, the ice cream man.
I always called him Colonel Sanders. I
Yeah.
never figured out which his actual
I don't
name
remember
was.
his real name, but this guy that makes ice cream wants to buy the castle.
He looks like the KFC dude. That's all you need to
And
know.
then there's the creepy groundskeeper. So the gang basically follows the trails, and eventually it leads them to the idea that there is an ancient curse on the castle because the original owner created a griffin using dark magic in order to hunt anyone that might claim his clan's grounds. So the gang travel to his crypt in the middle of a lake and discover the ancient staff he used to control the griffin.
There be banshees.
Yes, but a banshee that haunts the crypt, haunts them, and chases them all the way back off the lake.
And I'm going to hit you with some lore because it's explained that the banshee is actually a former, what was it, lover?
I don't know.
Like compatriot
Something like
of Merlin, essentially. And that due to his death, her anguish turned her into a banshee. And now she haunts his crypt forever.
Nice.
Although this kind of obviously gets thrown for a loop later in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the gang head back with the staff in tow until the griffin snatches Mindy and kidnaps her. And now Shaggy has to be like, oh man, dude, I think I like your sister, Velma. And then Velma,
Mindy has the hots for Shaggy.
And that's when Velma beats Shaggy up because she's like, nobody touches my sister.
But then she doesn't.
She does.
Velma, like, ships them.
I'm going to pretend she beats Shaggy up because it's funnier.
Okay. But in any
Even
case,
though she doesn't.
Velma actually does ship Shaggy and her sister.
Yeah, for some reason.
For some odd reason.
For some very strange reason.
What is the lore? How old are they? Well, Fred's still in school, so...
Is he?
Yeah, because remember in the movie we just watched?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it varies where they are age-wise. Sometimes they're like young adults. Sometimes
I'd say early 20s.
Sometimes they're like in high school. I mean, it varies. That doesn't matter as much.
But and then other times you have Velma, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I graduated like with my double major in astrophysics and
game design
and game design, which apparently is canonical in the Scooby-Doo universe. As we found out today.
Yes, we'll get to that very soon.
Very.
Very soon.
All right, but continue.
Yeah, so Shaggy dons knight armor, takes the staff, and the rest of the gang follow in suit as they climb a gigantic tower to the Griffin's nest to rescue Mindy. Along the way, they get fought off by the Griffin, who attacks them through windows and whatnot, and destroys the bridge that they are using to cross the tower, causing Shaggy and Scooby to be stranded on the other side with Mindy, while Fred, Daphne, and Velma leave the tower to go set a trap. So, following all that, this is a really big mouthful.
It is. This movie was actually fairly long, or not long, but
Feels longer than others.
it fills you a lot better. It's like a KFC fill-up,
It has very good pacing.
where the others are like cornbread and a drink.
Oh, I also needed to yawn. That was the other thing I had to do. I think I'm dying.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know. Did I just make you yawn? Was it contagious?
Yeah.
I know.
We're going to have a stroke on air.
Shaggy manages to kill the Griffin with the staff, and the gang discover the Griffin wasn't actually a Griffin, but actually a gigantic
Hot
puppet,
air balloon.
A gigantic puppet being controlled by a hot air balloon covered in a gigantic thick fog
Or is it
machine.
more of a Zeppelin?
It was a blimp Zeppelin thing.
Okay.
And inside was Marlin. It turns out Marlin was jealous of his brother because Marlin was the one that created all the magic tricks, not Merlin.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to scare everybody away so Merlin could sell the castle and make enough money from the deal and selling it to start his own magic school and magical business. To which Merlin says, "I'm sorry, bro. Partners?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then they became a stage partner duo, which is pretty cool. On top of that, the rest of the gang are happy by solving the mystery, and they leave the town of the castle.
Hold on. You missed a very important plot moment.
Are you? Oh,
We're talking about the very saucy love story between the housemaid and the ice cream vendor.
You know,
the titular antagonist of this
in
movie.
my effort to streamline these plot lines, sometimes I forget the details.
You're missing a very crucial moment here.
Yes.
As it turns out, Colonel Sanders, or whatever his name is, was madly in love with the maid back in the day, who later became the arm wrestling world champion or something because her arms are like as thick as a tree trunk. But in any case, he one day decides to leave his somber lifestyle of selling ice cream cones out of a small vendor and stake out his own claim in hopes that he can one day reclaim his love and her affection, and later falls prey to the capitalistic ideals that of money is money and money is power.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to buy the castle for what they found out was him and her.
Which he never did.
No.
But then they made out it's okay.
Yeah.
Turns out,
they found some very saucy.
Since we're throwing in actual plot details instead of streamlining this, he knew who the Griffin was all along with the groundskeeper, because they discovered it was Marlin very early on, which is why they knew the Griffin wasn't scary and why they were hoping the Griffin would continue doing what he was doing so they could buy the property.
See, I don't mind streamlining one, but I actually really like this one, so that's why
it's really good. This is a really good movie.
Like I think it's worth going into.
This movie has fantastic creature designs, being the Griffin and the Banshee. It starts a new trend of Scooby-Doo where, it has a little title opening sequence. Maybe it starts with them solving another mystery before being called into the primary mystery.
In a very
of the
nice
film.
art style.
Yeah. The actual art style of the film uses shading, which is very reminiscent of Zombie Island and Witch's Ghost. It is just a gorgeous film, very, very well animated, and most importantly, it has a great plot and is perfectly paced, unlike many other Scooby-Doo films. And because of that, I think it is one of the best.
And with that, I'm going to switch up the order. I give this a solid 10 Scooby Snacks out of 10 Scooby Snacks.
I also give it a solid 10 Scooby Snacks.
And with that, we have a perfect 10, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about the Cream a la Crop.
Cream la Croupe. Cream la Croupe?
Cream of the Crop.
Coup d'etat?
Yeah. Coup de Gras?
Mardi Gras? We going to Mardi Gras, Matt?
I guess we are.
I think Scooby-Doo's been to New Orleans enough that they have...
Oh my God, they've been to the South more times than I care to mention.
Maybe it's time they did a Mardi Gras movie.
I like to think that no one in the actual crew or cast or directors has actually been to the South, and they just hear all these haunted stories.
What?
Well, they go to the South a lot.
They do. I mean, there's
that in Arizona.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man.
I can't wait for Scooby-Doo Goes to America. Oh, wait.
What? With Eddie Murphy or something?
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
Let's do it. Scooby Goes to Chile.
Why Chile?
I don't know.
Scooby's been to Brazil. He's been to the Amazon rainforest. That's where they fought Jaguaro.
Scooby goes to Venezuela and stops socialism.
Mm-hmm. So, Matt, are you ready for some actual film news this time around?
I'm ready. Is it Marvel related?
No.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, the first real news of the night. Do 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 do
Do do do. Do
do
and we did it. It's time for actual news. You know the movie Training Day?
Yes.
By Anton Fuqua?
Yes.
Starring Denzel Washington. And Ethan
I love
Hawke.
Denzel.
It's getting a prequel.
Finally.
And it is going to be set to the backdrop of the LA riots, aka the Rodney King murder.
Yep.
Anton Fuqua, Denzel Washington, and Ethan Hawke, none of them have signed back on for this film. All that has been announced of it is a new writer.
Oh.
Yeah.
So either this is really early or...
It's very early, but this is not something that needs to be made. Yeah. It's being set 10 years prior to the original film.
But why?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I know.
Oh,
so I hope you're okay with that, Matt.
We're in the era of the prequels, okay?
Prequels, everything's and getting remakes. Oh my!
Yeah, but sequels are cool. Sequels add to the story. Prequels just like, oh wow, context.
Yeah.
$1 billion cost of context.
Nice. Anywho, it's time for commercial break. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's time to play the music of the movie we just reviewed.
Hit 'em with it.
Timing. Get ready for Scooby-Doo, Abracadabra-Doos.
Hit 'em.
3-song, amazing soundtrack.
Everybody wants a chance to be a hero. Everybody wants a chance to save the day. Won't you come along and baby be a hero? 'Cause it feels alright, yeah, it feels okay. Hey, Scooby, come on, Scooby. Oh, Scooby, yeah, Scooby. Ghosts and goblins better run for cover. Ain't a chance that you can get away. Scooby and his friends are gonna get ya. 'Cause it feels alright and it feels okay. Hey, Scooby, come on, Scooby. Oh, Scooby, yeah, Scooby. Hey, hey, ho, ho, hey, hey, ho, ho, hey, hey, ho, ho. Everybody, let's go. Say, Scooby, come on, Scooby. Yeah, Scooby. Feel like I've been hypnotized when I look into your eyes. I get feelings, crazy feelings deep inside. And I fall underneath your spell. I can't disguise it very well. I get feelings, crazy feelings I can't hide. And I feel magic in the air. I feel magic everywhere. I feel magic, crazy magic in the air. And I feel magic from the sun. I feel love for everyone. I feel magic, crazy magic in the air. like to wake up in the morning light. Like to go out when the sun is bright. Spend the day just playing in the park. But something happens when the sun goes down and it gets dark. It feels a little creepy. Can't wait till I get sleepy. Whoa, whoa. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. Whoa, whoa. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. I hear voices talking in my head. I hear noises underneath my bed. Someone there behind the closet door. I shut my eyes, don't wanna think about it anymore. Whoa, whoa. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. 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 Whoa, whoa. Tomorrow's gonna be another day.
We're
Is
back.
tomorrow going to be another day?
Yeah, because you're tuning in to
Scoobtober.
right here on WXPL 91.3 Fitchburg State Radio.
And you are listening to Sidereel.
Woo! We did it.
Woo!
Hooray.
We did an intro.
We also discovered that our phone really isn't working in here.
No, the phone is working. Just the flash is not working.
Yes,
so we
the
got to keep an eye
flasher
on
to
it.
indicate that somebody's calling isn't working. So we may have missed a couple calls, and we're sorry if we have.
If that's the case, please call back.
Please do call back at
978-665-4848.
Please call back. We're lonely in here. We're trapped.
We're just two dudes in a hot tub standing 5 feet apart because we're Scooby.
We're just a couple of dudes being dudes.
Look at that dude. Your
that.
beard's weird.
Look at that dude over there. All right, Matt, you keep an eye on the phone because I can't really look. It's behind me.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Aye, aye, Capitan. But please do call us in at 978
665
48.
48.
Please do call. Up next for reviews is one of my all-time favorite Scooby-Doo movies, Scooby-Doo Camp Scare. The immediate sequel to Abracadabra-Doo and part of what I consider to be a trilogy.
The Scooby-Doo Universe Trilogy.
Yeah, apparently. Camp Scare sees the gang going to Fred's old summer camp, Camp Little Moose, for the summer to be counselors. But when they get there, they discover all the counselors and kids have left the first session because apparently the old camp legend of the slasher.
Nope.
What was his name?
The Woodsman.
The Woodsman. Thank you. I couldn't remember, so I called him
fan. Fake fan.
I'm a fake fan. Fake fan. Fake fan. Fake fan. Fake fan. Fake fan.
Oh.
Fake fan. What? Flashing?
No, I thought it was flashing. Never mind.
Dang. All right, that's gonna happen a lot probably.
I got to keep an eye on it.
I know. So they go.
It's like blinking for the message and then blinking for the ringer is two different blinks.
I see.
Okay.
So the gang go to the camp and they discover that the Woodsman has been causing havoc, and they're like, "All right, we're canceling camp." And then 3 campers show up and we're like, "All right, we're not canceling camp."
Yep.
The
None
3
other than Mark Hamill.
Yeah, one of the campers is a small portly child named Winslow. Windsor, voiced by none other than Mark Hamill. On top of that, we've got a short blonde kid who outdoes Fred in everything.
Voiced by none other than
Robin. And an emo girl, goth girl, whatever,
Goth.
who, funny enough, is voiced by Raven's voice
Goth
actress.
Child. So they have Mark Hamill and Robin and Raven.
Yeah, basically. The Joker, baby.
We live in a society.
I know. So,
Society
the
lives in us.
Scooby Gang's like, all right, we'll make the best of our situation. So, they have a lot of fun. They go swimming. They do activities.
Shenanigans.
They're doing pretty good for themselves. And then something bad happens, and that bad thing that happens is they go to Camp Big Moose, the evil, better camp that makes fun of the little
Technologically
moosers,
advanced camp.
with the hot counselors and everything.
And the computer science lab and
the roller skates and the whatnots.
No, they didn't have roller skates. They had like those what are those things? The things Paul Blart was on.
Yeah. Anyways, screw Camp Big Moose. Go Camp Little Moose.
You got rowboats.
High in the mountains, down in the trees, over the sea, Camp Little Moose. I don't remember their phrase.
I don't either.
I don't remember. I'm a fake
You got the
fan.
first part right.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Even I didn't know that.
I remember that, but I don't remember the middle. Anyway.
I know. So, essentially, the big moosers are like, you can't be here. Go away.
And they get into an actual food fight.
Yes.
They incite violence.
And they're basically making fun of the Scooby Gang. Until, the Scooby Gang's like, all right, let's go swimming in their lake. And then they get attacked by a giant lake monster. Not a lake monster. Giant lake monster is over.
Fishman.
Fishman. A fishman. That's a good way of putting it.
The man fish.
He attacks them, and they're like, all right, we got to get out of here.
Trout.
So they fall over the dam that separates Big Little Moose and Big Moose and Little Moose.
Big Little Moose.
Big Little Moose. We'll get more on that later.
The lore.
So the gang's like, all right, maybe there's something going on around here. So they decide to investigate. Some of them go to Camp Big Moose to explore the lake to discover the lore legend of the Fishman. Others go around to discover the lore of the Woodsman, and the rest go to a place called Shadow Canyon to learn about the third lore, which they have yet to experience, which is the Spectre of Shadow Canyon. So in Shadow Canyon, they get attacked by the Spectre, only to discover that maybe it's not real. Who knows?
Not as all as what seems.
Because they discover a van hidden there, which is, for some reason, doing geographic surveys and sonar surveys on Big Moose Lake.
Yep.
Who knows why? Next up, the other group of team in the Big Moose looking for the Fishman find the Fishman and almost die doing so because,
very close.
That's okay. And in doing so, they find a cave that the Fishman was guarding. And inside this cave is a cave system that is above water and connects to the dam and contains a lot of dynamite.
Well, they think it's or Robin thinks it's candles at first, before almost blowing up half the crew.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then the other crew kind of just doing their chilling, they're kind of just trying to learn about more lore and stuff.
The lore.
And they end up learning that there used to be a town called Big Moose Creek, which is where Big Moose Lake used to be. It was an old mining town.
Where Big Moose Lake is.
And there was a mobster that hid his treasure there, because that's how mobsters work, I guess.
Yeah.
And so he left a clue to find it with his old cellmate, Babyface Beretti. Who knows if Babyface is behind all this, because he's kind of a midget. But who knows?
Small lad.
They all reconvene at Camp Little Moose, and they're like, all right, so they're trying to blow up the dam to get into the town under the lake.
To get the treasure.
But the issue being that to get there, they have to blow up the dam and drown Camp Little Moose. They wouldn't do that, right? And then they blow up the dam. And so the gang runs for their life as a raging amount of water comes after them. But they survive, and they get into the town, only to be captured by the Woodsman and their old pal Windsor, who is actually not a kid, but instead Babyface Beretti in disguise.
Mark Hamill comes back with the Joker voice as Babyface Beretti.
Mm-hmm. And so Babyface...
Guess you could really say he is the Joker, baby.
Mm-hmm. Babyface did all of this in order to get his old cellmate's treasure. So Scooby Gang and their camping friends must stop Babyface Beretti and the Woodsman and end up defeating them and getting the treasure, which is so cool. Wow. Wowzers.
Wow.
Coolio McDrulio, man. You know how it is.
It be what it is.
Yo, yo, yo. Yu Hakusho.
Yo.
And on that note, Scooby and the gang, because this dam got blown up, they combined Camp Big Moose and Little Moose to create Camp Big Little Moose or Little Big Moose, whatever it is.
Camp Moose.
And everybody is happy and go lucky, and all is well in the world.
I mean, nothing was left of Little Moose except for 3 children. Well, two children.
Two children and the owner.
And that was it, because everything else got literally wiped off the face of the map.
Basically. So, because of that, the Scooby Gang solve another mystery, and a darn good one at that. But there was a credit scene. Turns out the people behind the Woodsman and the Fishman, never actually did that Shadow Valley Spectre. Turns out she was real. Mm-hmm. And she just watches over the campers, ready to strike, until she disappears into smoke.
Spooky!
Camp Scare plays very keenly to the old Friday the 13th vibes. And it is a trope that Scooby-Doo had never explored before, surprisingly. And
I kept making the Camp Crystal Lake jokes.
Yeah, and they did it very well. It is a very good movie. It has good pacing, lots of good mysteries, a fantastic overall villain to the plot, great animation in terms of water effects, I would say. That was probably the best part of the film.
The tsunami?
Yeah. On top of that, the film really does explore a lot of side characters. One of the things that makes Scooby-Doo movies better than a lot of their show counterparts is when, in the movies, they team up with other people to help them solve the mystery. And in this case, they teamed up with a counselor from Camp Big Moose and their 3, not counselors, campers.
2 campers.
Oh, yeah, the C words really got me confused
1
there.
baby face Brady.
Yeah, and even though one of them turned out to be the villain, the other 2 were helpful gang members.
And they learned to overcome their fears and come out of their shells.
Yes.
Become useful members of society.
Scooby-Doo Camp Scare plays very strongly into this fake trilogy, as I like to call it, and I think it is the best of the 3. It is one of my personal favorite Scooby-Doo movies, and I think it is one of the best ones. Because of that, I give it a 10 out of 10 Scooby Snacks.
I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.
All right.
Actually, no, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
You did that.
Abracadabra Doo has to be higher.
Why can't they be the same?
No.
Why can't they be the same?
No.
You're hurting my feelings.
No.
Why you do that? Why you gotta hurt me? Anywho, you ready for news, Matt?
Yeah.
You ready for some actual news?
Yeah.
So,
what we got in the pot, Matt?
All right, Matt.
Let's find out what the Matt is cooking.
I don't like that. Anywho, I've been saying anywho a lot tonight.
Yeah, that and lore.
You've been saying lore a lot more than I have.
You have said lore. Literally, in the Camp Crystal Lake one, you said lore like at least 7 times.
Oh, I think you're over-exaggerating, but I'll go with it. I'll go with it just for you.
Well, what's the news?
You know the show, Band of Brothers?
Yes, I do.
You know its sequel, The Pacific?
Yes, I do.
What if I told you it's getting another sequel?
And what might that one be called?
Masters of the Air.
Whoa!
First one follows the paratroopers that infiltrated Europe in the Normandy battle and proceeded to walk all their way to stopping the Nazis. And then the second one, which I own but have not actually watched yet, is The Pacific, which follows, the Navy or Marines or whatever it is in the Pacific.
The Japanese.
This new show, which will be on Apple Plus, surprisingly, not on HBO.
I forgot Apple Plus was a thing.
Yeah. Will follow the Air Force in the U.S. Army. U.S. Army. U.S. military.
Yeah.
And in their escapades during World War II. And it will once again be produced by Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks.
Nice.
Why it is going to Apple Plus and not HBO is a little strange to me.
Is it an Apple Plus exclusive?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. So I wonder if HBO gets any stake in it because, Band of Brothers and Pacific are HBO series. They own those. Mm-hmm. But technically Masters of Air is a sequel to them. But because it's its own series and not part of a larger collective, is it technically HBO's stake? Who knows?
We'll find out. Maybe they'll announce more platforms. Maybe Apple Plus is just the first one they
stop.
They decided.
I don't think they're doing
be
it
on
like
Netflix.
that. I don't think so. Yeah, okay, Matt.
Disney Plus.
You ready for a commercial break?
Yeah.
You ready to relax and
Yeah.
chillax? All right. Time to play the music from the movie we just reviewed.
Hit 'em with it.
I like this movie, and I like this music. I hope you do too.
Here comes summer. Man, I really feel the heat. Let's go fishing. Gonna solve a mystery. Underneath the moon, underneath the stars. Scooby and the gang are here. Sitting by the fire, playing at
feeling good, yeah. I'm sitting on top of the world. Got my friends all around me now. Why I even got a girl? Holding steady. Who's that? Rocking around the clock. Yeah, I'm really sitting pretty now, and I hope it never stops. No, no. And I feel alright. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Laying day and night. Got a knock on wood, and nothing's gonna stop me now. Living in a perfect world. Woo! Put the top down. Yeah, let's take it for a spin. Before them leaves turn brown, drop everything, hop on in. Better hold on tight, 'cause we're going for a drive. Say now, ain't life beautiful? Ain't it good to be alive? Oh, it's good to be alive. And I feel alright. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Laying day and night. Got a knock on wood. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Living in a perfect world. A perfect world. The perfect world. Living in a perfect world. Woo! Oh yeah. The sun, it hits my body just like a laser gun. I'm getting set to party, 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 everyone. Break out the shades and lotion, shake off the winter blues. Get on your jet ski 'cause you know it's time to cruise. It's the summertime. Everybody loves summertime. Yeah, it's the summertime. Stacking up the cooler, I'm packing up the van. I'm jumping in the pool, I'm getting me a tan, man. Go ahead and feel the music. Go ahead, you know you can. You got it, you got it, you got it, you got it. Summertime. Everybody loves summertime. Yeah, it's the summertime. Yeah, I'm walking on beaches, I'm sitting in the bleachers. I'm saying a fond farewell to all you teachers. I'm living a good life, I'm living the dream. I'm living it, I'm living it, I'm living it. Woo! Summertime. It's the summertime. Everybody loves summertime. It's the summertime. Yeah, it's the summertime. Everybody loves summertime. All right. It's the summertime. Summertime.
Summertime.
Summertime.
Summertime.
Bum, 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 ba, dum.
Summer.
Yeah. Cool. What's the word of the day, Matt?
Scoobtober.
What's the other word of the day, Matt?
Sidereel.
What's the other one?
Scooby-Doo.
The other one?
Please call in.
That one too, at 978
665
48.
48.
We had someone call in, but I think it was the wrong number.
And I got a hot take for you.
Oh, yeah? What
One
is
of
it?
these old public service announcements.
Ooh.
And when you bring someone a meal, you show that you care. For more than 2.4 million seniors who depend on Meals on Wheels each year, a quick chat and a warm hello can make all the difference in the world. More than 2 million dedicated volunteers make up the backbone of Meals on Wheels, a national community-based network committed to seniors' health, safety, and well-being. Together, this network delivers 1 million meals to seniors in need. They also provide important safety checks, can make meaningful conversations with seniors in their communities. With 1 in 6 seniors already facing the threat of hunger and the senior population projected to double by 2050, Meals on Wheels has a pressing need for new volunteers.
That's cool. That's a nice thing to do, you know?
Mhm.
You know what I mean, Matt?
Talk to your elders. They love to be talked to. They got stories for days. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, at this current time, it is time for our next review. The
Boom,
end
boom.
to the fake Scooby-Doo trilogy, as I like to call
No,
it.
it ain't fake. It's official.
Scooby-Doo, Legend of the Phantasaur, has my absolute all-time favorite opening to a Scooby-Doo movie.
Wow, that's impressive, actually.
I know, because it does not open with the monster or anything else related to the major plot of this film. Instead, it opens with the title sequence in the main song, which you heard earlier on our show. Thank you for tuning in to Sidereel.
During Scoobtober.
Yes, on Scoobtober. And in this title sequence, we see the gang running and solving many, many mysteries until the final one where they're solving a bunch of mystery ghosts in this house, right? Shaggy snaps, and he gets stuck in a closet with a bunch of puppets and just loses his mind.
Shaggy gets
To the point where
PTSD.
he is screaming for 3 straight hours. So the doctor tells him no more mysteries. So the gang decide to go to the town of La Serena in what I presume to be New Mexico.
Sounds like it.
Yes. And they decide to stay at the resort so that Shaggy can relax, and the others can go to an archaeological dig so Fred can pass his physics class because somehow...
Chemistry.
Oh, it was chemistry, thank you. Somehow archaeology and chemistry just go together.
Yep.
Cool.
Makes sense to me.
Coolio.
How does dinosaur bones dissolve?
Yeah,
in
so this
nitroglycerin?
dig takes place in a cave system, and they're, digging for bones and stuff, and it's led by this woman. I forget her name. But her assistant, Matt, is...
None other than Dr. Spencer on Criminal Minds, which threw me for a loop the moment he opened his mouth because I don't know if you're aware, Matt, I have been binging a lot of crime drama shows. I watched
know.
all of NCIS in like 3 months, and Criminal Minds is my new focus of attention.
Nice.
And the moment that character opened his mouth and spoke, I was like, oh my God, is that Spencer Reed?
Yes, and in the process of looking up to see if it was him, we discovered it was him. But he's also the voice of Simon in the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies.
Which, again, threw me for an even bigger loop because I'm like, oh my God.
Heck yeah.
I didn't know he was that much of a nerd,
So,
even though he's literally a nerd
it's
in Criminal
basically
Minds.
the male he plays the male version of Velma.
He's got a degree in game design.
Yeah, he does have a degree in game design. And he got it from Fitchburg State University.
Pittsburgh State University.
And basically, he and Velma fall in love, and they want to go on a date, which is cool. It's cute. Meanwhile, Shaggy and Scooby, enjoy the town. There's 3 all-you-can-eat buffet restaurants. They're having a pretty good time.
One of them
Until
vegan.
they discover the Phantasaur, which is just out in the desert causing mayhem and mischief. So the Scooby gang is like, all right, there's a Phantasaur out there, and we should solve the mystery. But then they're like, oh, no, wait, Shaggy
has PTSD.
Shaggy can't solve the mystery. So the guy that runs the spa, who's doing a little
He's
too
a little out there.
He's doing a little too many shrooms if you sniff
It's
my drift.
Moses on the mountain, so to speak.
And so he just like, I got a hypnosis machine. I can make him brave with some key words. And so, he puts Shaggy under, and he's like, all right, when you hear the word bad, you will become cool, Ultra Instinct Shaggy. Go kill.
Dude, I would want to. Okay, if you're gonna do like, so if hypnosis actually was real, wouldn't you want to have like a phrase that you don't hear that often? I'd want like Fergalicious or something.
Oh yeah, which is why it was funny because this guy's crazy.
Yeah, he's absolutely.
He also kept calling Shaggy Shafty or whatever, Shaffy, whatever it was.
What was that?
Sherry.
Something.
Shooby?
He called them different things throughout the movie.
Yeah. So basically, you know, Shaggy and Scooby go out to eat again, and they're at this place, and a bunch of bikers come in, and they start causing some mayhem, and they accidentally start a fight with Shaggy, and one of them says the word bad, and then Shaggy becomes Ultra Instinct level powerful and beats them all up. And then their leader comes in, his name is Texas, he's a cool guy. He's
Cool
like,
dude.
y'all, you cool, man. Let's race. And Shaggy's like, yeah, I'll race you. And then Tex is like, you're a bad dude, man. And then Shaggy turns back to normal. He's
Snaps out
like,
of it.
oh, no.
What have I done?
Race on a motorcycle, which I've never done. So
Down Dead Man's Cliff, around Dead Man's Turn, and then down to Dead Man's Avenue.
Mm-hmm. So later that night, the gang basically helps Shaggy train for the race, and Velma goes on her date.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shaggy goes to the race. He becomes Ultra Instinct again, and he races Tex. They become friends along the way. And at some point, they run into the Phantosaur, and they beat the Phantosaur. And it turns out the Phantosaur was being controlled by these two business people who just wanted to buy the mines for the silver inside.
Which really got me, because at this point, having watched all these Scooby-Doo movies, I'm like, wow, this is really early to be finding out the bad guys.
And for reference, the Phantosaur is like, you know, a green Tyrannosaurus Rex with like a glow to it.
Yeah.
Just to give you some context for what it looks like.
Yeah.
Now, after that, the gang's like, oh my god, we can actually enjoy our vacation. And then they head back to, you know, the place where they're staying, the spa. And the guy that runs it is like, hey guys, so cool, you did it, but someone stole my machine. And
My
they
giant
discover
hologram projector.
his gigantic hologram projector just got stolen. How that happened is beyond me.
Literally ripped out of the ceiling.
And as they're in that room, they're like, they hear a noise. Next thing they know, 4 velociraptors come out of nowhere and attack them. And the Scooby Gang barely escape with their lives until they realize the velociraptors are called back to the town, which is currently on fire. So the Scooby Gang go to investigate, only to find the real Phantosaur is there. Which
Big
is,
and red and breathing.
Yeah, he's a see-through ghost dinosaur that breathes fire. That's cool.
Infinitely more terrifying than the original Phantosaur.
A really cool design. And totally stealing Dark Souls or whatever. I don't know. Dark Souls? It's established. Dark Souls ripped off Scooby-Doo.
Welcome to the Dark Souls podcast.
Yes.
Today we'll be talking about the lore of the Firelink Shrine.
That was long, yes. I'm gasping for breath right now. Jesus. Anyways, the gang's like, oh, we didn't solve the mystery.
The mystery solved us.
So then they decide to go explore the cave system where the archaeology dig is going on. And they find out the lead professor, she's leaving, and Velma's boyfriend left too. Although he didn't actually leave. They're lying because his car is still there because he's an idiot.
Yep.
So they go inside, and they go to the section of the caves they weren't allowed to go to before. And in there, they discover the Phantosaur and Velociraptors. And then Fred's like, Home Alone, baby. And he throws down a bag of marbles. The Velociraptors trip and slip, and they're revealed to be all the
graduate students
that were working on the dig. And
College
then they discover the Phantosaur was the hologram projector that was stolen.
Which was obvious.
Mixed with a paint thinning machine that breathed fire. And it was being controlled by the lead archaeologist and Velma's boyfriend, who was putting his game design degree to work.
Animation. Dude, if he whipped up a 3D model like that in like literally 3 hours, that's impressive.
That is pretty good.
That's impressive. Seeing how I can make like a sphere in like 1 hour. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're like, okay, we'll explain to you why we were doing this. And they reveal it's because they discovered the real Phantosaur, the original bearer of the name that became legend of the Tupacanoa people, who originally inhabited the lands before the conquistadors came.
Did you just name a Pokemon?
No. Never mind. Anyways, it turns out there's an actual Tyrannosaurus Rex or something that looks like it trapped in a giant piece of quartz. And the lead archaeologist is like, I don't know how this happened, but this is cool. We got to share this with the world. So we were going to blow up the town to make it singing to the ground.
Oh, because the dig was on public land, and they couldn't extract it without going over budget or something. I think.
Whatever.
So they decided to say screw the rules, and then decided to blow up
the town. First, scare everyone away, which they did, and then blow up the town, which they did while they were stuck in the cave system.
Yeah.
So,
which was not part of the plan.
Yeah. So in doing that, they get stuck in the caves and they have to escape, and they escape with Ultra Instinct Shaggy kind of going away, and then Shaggy learns he had the courage in him all along. And they escape, and they team up with the bikers to basically save the town, and only to discover that the now giant dinosaur Phantosaur thing is visible to the public.
Yep.
Cool. And the movie ends with Shaggy getting his thing reversed, his hypnosis reversed by the guy. He's like, okay, when I snap my fingers, you'll be Shaggy Rogers again. And you'll never be Ultra Instinct again. He snaps his fingers. Too bad the rest of the gang was in the room, so now everybody thinks they're Shaggy.
And they all adopt Shaggy's hairstyle.
And shirt.
Velma, Daphne, Fred, even Scooby
have all become Shaggy Daggy Jew.
Shaggy is Legion.
Yes. And so the movie ends with the gang stuck in Shaggy form, only to go back to normal for the next film, thank God.
Imagine an entire film in Shaggy mode.
That'd be pretty funny.
I'd pay to see that.
So, I give it a 10 out of 10 Scooby Snacks.
I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10.
So 9.75?
Yep.
All right. It's a good score.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the platinum. Yeah. All right. Next piece of news, and we got 20 minutes, Matt.
All right.
So I'm going to speed through this one really right quick.
Get through them.
The CGI Spirit movie is happening. Specifically, DreamWorks? You know how they made Spirit?
Yep.
Yeah, they're making the CGI sequel.
Why?
Because they're idiots.
Why?
Because they're idiots.
It's not going to make money. Stop. Stop doing it.
Yeah, DreamWorks is officially going back on their word to make quality films after How to Train Your Dragon 3.
They're throwing themselves off the deep end again, and they just got to make Shrek 10.
They are rebooting Shrek. Not making Shrek 5, they are rebooting Shrek.
Yep.
Because, that's totally what they needed.
That's exactly what we needed.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, up next, we got another review. And before we review it, I believe we are going to go on our last commercial break.
Finale. Suiting that we sing because the next movie we're reviewing.
Yeah. So, up next, we got the original song from the Scooby-Doo and Kiss Rock and Roll mystery film, which is sung by Kiss, even though it doesn't really sound like Kiss. It's called Don't Touch My Ascot, followed by the two original Hex Girl songs from What's New Scooby-Doo, Petrified Bride, and the other one being their cover of the What's New Scooby-Doo theme song. I hope you all enjoy this. We are almost done with our night. I thank you all for joining us here. Enjoy the music.
Enjoy.
Oh no, don't tug my ascot, don't pull my ascot. It's not a Scott. No, baby, you can't have my ascot, 'cause girl, it's mine. Hands off my cravat, no, I don't like that. You get it dirty. Cravats are for Hellcats and this cat is feeling fine. We'll go out to a bistro and chat over creme brulee. Careful with that spoon though, a drip could ruin my whole day. And my ascot, silk patterned ascot. Ascot for Hellcats, and this one is just divine. Don't tug my ascot, but don't pull my ascot. It's not a Scott. No, you can't have my ascot, 'cause girl, it's mine. It's so divine. No, you can't have my ascot, 'cause girl, it's mine, mine, mine.
What's the Scooby-Doo? We're gonna follow you. We're gonna solve that mystery. We see a Scooby-Doo. We're coming after you. What's the Scooby-Doo? Don't look back. You may find another clue. The Scooby snack will be waiting here for you. What's the Scooby-Doo? Coming after you. You're gonna solve that mystery. I see a Scooby-Doo. The trail leads back to you. What's the Scooby-Doo? Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. What's the Scooby-Doo?
I love What's New Scooby-Doo.
You love the Hex Girls.
I do love the Hex Girls. The Hex Girls are so good, and they're really underutilized. So hopefully they're in another movie soon. Speaking of movies, next movie, Scooby-Doo, Music of the Vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Music of the Vampire is a musical. It follows the gang, kind of sick of their mysteries. They're kind of all done, a little worn out, as it were. So I was like, all right, I'll plan a vacation. Lies to them and takes them to the vampire capital of America, a small town in Louisiana where their annual vampire festival is happening. Cool. In the process, they meet Abraham Van Helsing, or whatever his name is. And basically, he's like, I write vampire books now, but nobody wants to buy them.
Because Silverlight is out.
Yeah, because Twilight happened.
Yeah.
And so he's like, all right, I own the town. I basically rent it out to the people for the festival because it's how I make my money now, sadly. Let me show you my vampire museum. Here's the actual vampire, Count Valdronia. He's asleep. Don't wake him up, or else he'll kill us all.
He's in a coffin under 6 inches of glass. How could he escape?
Oh, we'll get to that part. So, along the way, you know, the Scooby Gang sing a lot of songs and whatnot, and basically they go to a show at nighttime to meet a dedicated troupe of vampire actors who are dedicated to becoming true vampires, put on their regular show, only to say a magic spell that makes Valdronia escape his coffin.
Turn into mist.
Yes, he turns into mist and escapes. So the Scooby Gang is like, all right, this is bad because we got a real vampire on the loose. These actors are weird. The townspeople are trying to kill us because they think we're vampires. Specifically, Scooby and Shaggy are vampires.
Yep.
Scooby
and Shaggy convince themselves that they are vampires.
Yeah, so they're not doing too good right now. This is a tough mystery for them. And Daphne gets kidnapped because she has been chosen to be the new vampire queen.
The bride of the vampire.
So she's being sold into a forced marriage. Cool.
I love it.
So in the meantime, Velma and Fred are trying to solve the mystery while Fred becomes a vampire scaredy cat hunter sort of thing. He gets really into it more than Scooby and Shaggy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Scooby and Shaggy get lost in the bayou and meet this guy who's like, yeah, I'm an inventor, but I'm crazy, and I live off the grid.
Want some gumbo?
Yeah, my gumbo's good.
Made out of...
gator.
No.
And leech.
Leech. There
Leeches.
we go.
Yeah, and basically he's like, yeah, you know, I make experimental hovercraft stuff, and it got stolen. So basically, all the gang reconvene, and they're like, oh, we got to go save Daphne. So they go to save Daphne, who is being held captive by the vampire actors and Count Valdronia, and they basically show up, stop the wedding, and they uncover the Count to be Abraham Van Helsing, who came up with this whole scheme based off the last book he wrote, Vampire of the Bride, which Velma called pretty decent.
Just like this movie.
Yes. And basically, he did it in order to boost the town's revenue ship and to get his books to sell, while in turn the actors can, you know, become true vampires because they're idiots. Mm-hmm. And then the Scooby Gang sing one last time, and they drive off into the sunset. Cool.
Neat.
Obviously, we're pressed for time, and I can go on a little more into detail on this, but I don't
we
feel
can talk
the need
about
to.
how a man who was basically a religious zealot tried to transform a angry crowd into a mob and vote him in as mayor.
Yes, there were a lot of kooky side characters.
But
in this
anyway,
the film has a fantastic plot, in my opinion, a very good plot, to be honest, and it is definitely a worthy follow-up to Phantasaur. My biggest issue is the singing. The songs
Matt,
are
you were humming
that
the
good.
songs for like
the main
3
song.
hours
The main
afterwards.
song is really catchy. Okay, leave me alone. but the singing definitely detracts from the whole film, and they definitely don't do it enough to really justify it being a musical, I think. They only sing... The opening song and the final song are the same song, as most musicals are. In the middle, there are 2, 3, maybe 4 other songs. It's just not enough to me.
Well, see, here's the thing. So I know I was kind of poking fun at you earlier, but I gave it some serious thought. I almost feel like the musical aspect was more of an afterthought because... Like, if you were to take the musical parts out, this just feels like a 20-minute episode of Scooby-Doo.
I mean, it could be a whole film. It's just the musical scenes just were like filler.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a case where they were too lazy to come with actual plot points, so they came up with songs to fill in the time.
That's what I mean. Like,
But-
they didn't know what else to put in it because it just...
Yeah.
Like, if you take the music out, it feels very generic.
Yes. And as with, many musicals, I find the best way to judge a musical isn't so much by its music or score or acting, but more so by its plot. If the plot itself can stand without the singing and be good on its own, then I think it's a good musical.
Yeah.
Like, I love Mamma Mia, but the Mamma Mia plot would
Mamma
be
Mia, Mamma
terrible without the songs.
It would be.
Whereas the Chicago plot, for example, would be fantastic without the songs.
What about West Side Story?
That would work without songs, too.
I think it would because the West Side Story is one of my favorite musicals.
So, Music of the Vampire is a good movie in its plot and some of its animation points, especially in some of the dance numbers. But
With that, what would you give it as a score?
I'd give it... Because the music really does kind of bring down the actual quality of the film, and it makes me question the development of the film, I'd give it, sadly, a 6 out of 10 Scooby Snacks. 5 at the minimum, because I really didn't care for the music.
I'm going to give it... I actually like the music. That's just my opinion. I found
That's
it
fair.
to be kind of catchy. And I honestly feel like they all did it. Except for the one where Fred was singing.
Yeah, if you noticed, Fred and Velma sang the least. Velma wasn't too bad, but Fred did not sound like Fred.
Oh my god, it sounded like whoever was voice acting him.
No, that was not Frank Welker. I don't believe that for a second.
I think it was Frank.
Either way, Fred sounded terrible.
In any case, with that in mind, I'm going to be giving it a 7.
All
7 out
right,
of 10.
so we'll give it a solid 6, 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah, something like that. I think that's pretty.
I think that's
accurate.
pretty fair.
Now, before our final review of the night, and possibly one more music break if we have the time, we have to talk about one final piece of news, Matt.
All right, hit
and
him.
that is they've cast Catwoman for the Batman.
And who is it?
The lucky woman is Zoe Kravitz.
What else has she done?
She was in Mad Max Fury Road. She is in Big Little Lies and a bunch of other shows and movies. She's a fantastic actress, but not who I would have cast as Catwoman. I'm just saying. Just saying that. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me. I see you.
I don't know what she looks like. I don't know who she is, so I can't
you
really
have
say.
a phone.
Yeah, but it's on 5%, so I'm saving the battery.
Oh, my Lord, Matt. You kill me sometimes. You kill me.
I know.
Yeah, so funny enough, she actually played Catwoman in the Lego Batman movie.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I guess she was meant for the role or something.
Is she the chick that becomes the queen in Mad Max?
No. What?
Like she kills the dude and then takes over his role and distributes all the water to people?
No.
Or is that the first one? I've never seen Mad Max.
That was Fury Road, and you're talking about Charlize Theron.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen Mad Max.
Yes.
So.
No, Zoe Kravitz was one of the sex slaves of the king, I guess, is the way of putting it.
Okay.
But she has been in a bunch of other stuff. She's a really great actress. And it's not that I don't think she'll do bad as Catwoman. It's just... I wanted Vanessa Kirby to be Catwoman. Vanessa Kirby was recently in Hobbs & Shaw. She was in Mission Impossible Fallout. And she was nominated for an Emmy on The Crown, in which she played Princess Margaret for 2 seasons. She is an amazing actress. And she was the dead pick choice to play Catwoman, and she didn't get it, and I'm kind of sad.
Did they at least like try to cast her? Or
I don't know.
Was there any attempt?
I don't know. And that's something that will always tickle me fancy, I guess. I don't know.
Watch them change them at the last
She
minute
was the
tour.
one I wanted. She would have made a great Catwoman. But I wish Zoe Kravitz the best of luck, and I hope she does good, because this is looking to be a pretty good Batman movie.
And on that note,
one final review. One of the worst.
I'm gonna leave this one on you because I will preface this by saying I hate this movie.
I do too.
I hate everything about this
All
movie.
right, you keep talking. I gotta drink some water to rant about this one. All right, go.
I think this is arguably the worst Scooby-Doo movie that's ever been made, without question. And this is coming from me, who's been pretty generous with all of his scores, even on like things like Boo Brothers and whatnot. And all the Scooby-Doo movies that you deem as bad, and I give a still pretty good score on, I think this is hot garbage.
It's bad.
Like bad. As in, like, they probably made this because they had no idea of what else to make.
No. So, the gang go to Atlantic City, one of the most disgusting, abhorrent places in America. I hate Atlantic City. That place
I've been
is
there.
a
It's pretty bad.
dang dump. I also had a pretty bad family vacation there, so it sucks, okay? Just saying.
We're both pretty predisposed to not liking the locale
That
for this
place
already.
is a garbage heap. It is crap. And it takes place there in a rundown European circus that the gang join because apparently werewolves are haunting the circus, turning all the circus members into werewolves. You want a clown werewolf? You got it. You want an acrobat werewolf? You got it.
You want a flame spitter werewolf? You got it.
I wish that would have been cool. So, werewolves haunting a circus, stealing jewelry in Atlantic City, because that's the gang plot.
Yep.
And the Scooby Gang joined the circus to help out, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, we're going to help out this poor little gypsy European circus that's coming to town.
What happened? So basically, they join the circus, and all people disappear, and then they're like, okay, we actually don't know what to do. So they basically stop all the werewolves. Turns out the circus people were the werewolves themselves. That's a lie. Did I fool you, Matt?
Yeah, you did fool me.
I know.
Not really, but...
Yeah, it turns out they were the monkeys.
Yeah.
The monkeys were behind it all along. They were in the werewolf costumes, and it turns out they thought it was the monkey tamer, but it wasn't him. Oh, no. Because later that day, they found out they never found the jewels. Or who stopped all the other circus members and kidnapped them and knocked them out. Turns out it was the strong man, who was also a hypnotist and a trained animal trainer, and also an acrobat. Very well-rounded for a circus man.
Yeah, very.
And he was stealing all the jewels and doing all the werewolf stuff. So the Scooby Gang are able to stop him, return the jewels, and then Shaggy and Scooby go to a black metal concert. Because why not? This movie sucks. I don't even recommend watching it.
I haven't seen this since I was a kid, and I had to look up the synopsis again because I couldn't believe it how bad it was.
It's bad. It's
and
so
with that,
stupid.
We're going to skip over all the semantics. I'm giving it a 0.
0
out of 10
0.
Scooby Snacks.
Yep, 0.
0.
0.
God awful. You heard it here first. If you watch this movie, you will be crucified.
I guess we're getting crucified, Matt.
Yep, that's it. Goodbye, folks.
All right, everybody. One more commercial break for funsies. We got 3 more Hex Girls songs, all of which were featured in Scooby-Doo Mr. Incorporated, which, once again, you should all be watching, because it is the best thing Scooby-Doo ever has ever made, more than Zombieland and more than Hex Girls, and which goes just saying. The Hex Girls were featured on the show, specifically in 2 episodes. All 3 of these songs are from their first appearance in the show. The first 2 are new renditions from 2010 of Hex Girl, I'm a Hex Girl, and Earth, Wind, Fire, and Air. And the last one is a new original song sung by Daphne, who joined the band for a short time, called Trap of Love. Full disclaimer, Hex Girl, in its full rendition, is you hear the Scooby Gang talking in the audience while they're watching the concert, because that is the official audio track of the song, sadly, for some reason. I don't know why it is that way. So if you get confused, I'm sorry, but maybe it'll inspire you to watch the show, because I would highly recommend it. Please enjoy.
As I cloud your mind, you get dizzy when I make the sign. You wake up in the dead of night, missing me when I'm out of sight. I'm a hex girl, and I'm gonna put a spell on you. I'm gonna put a spell on you. I'm a hex girl, and I'm gonna put a spell on you.
These seats are amazing. I thought you had to be a scalper to get front row tickets for the Hex Girls.
Nope, you just need to know Velma.
Doctor
Scooby-Doo, you're in my shot! Scoob!
What's wrong with Scooby?
Like he's still mad at me because I went to the prom with Velma instead of watching the Vincent Van Gogh marathon with him.
Earth, wind, fire, and air. We look bad, but we don't care. We ride the wind and we feel the fire. To love the earth, our one desire. Our one desire. Earth, wind, fire, and air.
What's happening?
Unfeeling heart imprisons me. Careless eyes too blind to see. Empty words, an iron cage. Broken heart, bleeding rage. Can't wait for you and me. It's time I break free. Trap of love, snared by desire. Trap of love, burned by your fire. Trap of love, snared by desire. Trap of love, beware the trap of love. Let me be, it's time we part. Set me free, uncage my heart. Can't wait for you and me. It's time for you to see. Trap of love, snared by desire. Trap of love, burned by your fire. Trap of love, snared by desire. Trap of love, beware the trap of love.
We're back.
Hi.
That was actually the last of our YouTube set of songs to play. We have a couple more in the future, but for now we're going to move over to some more serialized songs, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. We thank you for tuning in to another installment of Scoobtober right here on Sidereel, right here on WXPL 91.3 Fitchburg State Radio. I've been Matt.
And I've been Matt, and thank you very much for listening to us.
We love you all. Thank you, and have
we
a
hope to
wonderful,
see you next week.
Wonderful Scoobtober.
Goodbye, folks.
And please stay extra, extra spooky.
Spoop.
Scoob-tober. Again next week at 7.
Council on the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.